We're back to discuss War for the Planet of the Apes, and if you saw our review, we all enjoyed it quite a bit. I had this thing that kept happening where there was this one particular noise that a lot of the apes made that sounded like Crispin Glover laughing in Back to the Future. It's like, and like every time that happened, I like tried not to chuckle. It was really good. The way that it sort of started with the feel of Rise, where they're still in the woods, and he's still kind of playing the diplomacy game, which is why he spares those guys at the beginning, and then...
Which, ouch, there's a whole, like, arc to that
kind
of story, which I didn't see coming. I thought it was going to go the usual way of, you know, the guy was going to kind of help redeem them towards the end or something, but it was the opposite. He was just had no mercy at all.
Yeah.
Even though he had been given mercy, it was, wow, I didn't see that coming.
And so he sends them all away, and then they end up being captured anyway, and so he ends up in the same camp with them. And I felt like they handled that part of it really well. Like the forced labor camp thing, they didn't, like, overtly say... Like, it wasn't overtly a World War II labor camp or, you know, something like that. It was very much a... You could believe that this kind of thing would happen under these circumstances with this guy in charge, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, you know, hey, see this parallel we're drawing? Like, the humans are the Nazis, and the apes are not the Nazis. Yeah. Like, it never...
It was kind of its own thing, I thought.
It never sang to that.
It's not that far.
It didn't use that language.
Especially with the humans fighting humans, I didn't see that one coming either.
Most of the humans fought humans, and that's the real war here.
Right.
So...
For me, that was a bit of a twist, because I just thought it was going to be an outright brawl between, you know, two species.
Well, and I had no idea how they were going to leave the end of the movie with that entire army, and then that entire army gets
along comes an avalanche, which you could say is their way of saying it was nature turning the page.
Yeah, kind of thing. The huge environmental button.
They adapted. They were able to climb trees, and you know,
it was the whole nature thing that. I mean, that's been sort of the running theme of the movies, is that, you know, when man meddles in nature, best beware, sort of thing.
So everyone losing their voice is just their voice, right? I mean, they made allusions to it being like their mental capacity too, but it seemed like people who lost their voice could still totally be fine.
No, so the girl had her mental capacity still.
I didn't even think of the girl when he said the story about his son. Now I get it. That makes sense.
Yeah, and Woody Harrelson and his soldiers basically, like, they told the story, or they made up the fiction that it robs you of your humanity, but all it really does is takes away your ability to speak. And so they were basically just trying to contain the outbreak of that particular sickness. The doll being the thing that gave him the virus.
Oh yeah.
Or they gave him the modified version of the virus.
Sweet justice.
And that's also a allusion to like
just got that
real things
that
happened. Because American settlers used to give blankets with smallpox to the Indian tribes and just let them die off. So, yeah, apes always make you think.
Yeah,
the Apes movies. That's always been their thing, is like to, you know, build up an allegory and you know, show that us versus them thing is kind of.
Did you guys find yourself thinking back to the first film with Caesar was like this little chimpanzee kind of thing, and thinking how far it's come?
Which has only been 15 years, evidently. I'm like, how long do chimpanzees live, or these apes?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Well, he's gotten grizzled by this movie. He's old.
Yeah.
But he definitely went full savior complex on the whole storyline, I feel. He even leads them out into the desert to, you know, live their new life, whatnot.
Yeah. There were things that, like, I could kind of see written on the wall fairly early. Like, I figured out that that ape winter was going to turn on them pretty quick. Like, I had that figured out pretty quickly.
Okay.
There were a couple other things that I'm blanking on right now. But there were a couple of things that were like, yeah, I bet this is going to happen, and then it did. But a lot of stuff was just surprising. And I think it does a great job of, like, the movie starts out like it's just, you know, the next chapter of Rise, because they're all in the woods and they're still doing diplomacy stuff, and then it turns into, like, no, we're in, like, the Hoth labor camp for the second hour of the movie.
Right. It was a long time in that movie, in that camp, actually.
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked that they didn't get out sooner and there was like going to be a straight up battle at any point, but
they managed to keep, I mean, the movie is tense and exciting all the way through. Like, you're on the edge of your seat for all of those 2 hours. There's never a point where it's like one of the things I was worried about was I thought they're going to get to a point where they're just going to be working in this camp for a month, and it's just going to be like this passage of time thing, and we're going to be like, okay, get on with it.
Maybe even get a montage.
Yeah.
But instead it was like it all felt like it happened in a really short period of time.
You would have a hard time trimming more out of this film if you wanted to get it shorter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'd start losing...
How long was it?
A little over 2 hours, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
because it was all useful.
205, 215,
material,
something like that. Yeah.
It all felt useful.
So, yeah. It was really, really good.
Do we think we'll see more Planet of the Apes?
I don't think they'll continue with Caesar.
No.
But I
Maybe
could
in
see
the future they'll do like a...
I could see like 5 or 10 years from now them
standalone
coming
type.
back and doing another...
I would like to see a break taken and then come back. Yeah, that'd make a good amount of sense. And Mark Wahlberg will be really old and he can play somebody again, right?
No, they'll bring James Franco back to play the ape in that one.
Sure, okay.
Yeah. Alright, well, if you like the way we do these, please like the video, subscribe, check out all the written video reviews at thealmaxfield.com. Thanks for watching.